All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for Bungou Stray Dogs, Season 2, Episode 9. All right,
oh boy.
Atsushi.
Yeah.
You want to do this?
An alliance. It's been a long time coming. And now we're here.
Once existed between elves and men.
Yeah, that's right.
They fought and died together.
We are prepared to fight alongside the Port Mafia once more.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, it had
You think
to
the
happen.
Port Mafia will honor their allegiance, though? If
That's right. But they'll be talking all kinds of shit, just like how they're...
right, exactly. They'll chew you up the
scenery.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I really think, though, that this is the kind of thing that Dazai wants, but I could also see it being a thing where he's like, but the thing is they're going to suspect some stuff with it, and they're going to cause some problems down the line.
It's going to be fine.
All right, yeah, I guess we can make it work, yeah. But for the guild, in a lot of ways, the only way they're going to lose at this point is by having the Port Mafia and the ADA team up.
Although they've already had dissension within the ranks, so...
It's true. That's
Just
how
saying.
Atsushi got out.
Yeah,
so, that's the thing. Also, there is a possibility that since they don't need Atsushi, like,
himself.
specifically...
Yeah, they need the book.
They need the book, which is like, oh, okay, sure.
Right,
And
they need him to get the book, but, like,
and
he's not thereafter.
It might be the book that he wrote.
That is...
Maybe.
It's possible,
We'll see. Yeah. But we'll find out. But they have a floating fortress, so
they do indeed.
There's a lot to go.
And they have a sniper that can split things in twain. Yeah,
he's on his mark. So y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. All right, everyone. Now be sure to go check out the reaction portion of the video in the description below. Then come back here for the discussion.
Hey, babe, I know it's been a long time. What you up to? Oh, nothing much, babe. What about you? Want to go fight Cthulhu together? Sure.
Like, this episode was so funny, and yet it was so badass. Like, we have the Alliance, proposition delivered.
Yep.
And we have an understanding basically given that Fukuzawa and Moriogai, they really could not make an alliance together because the issues are based on the laws of strategy that one of them will have an easy opportunity to betray the other,
right?
And there will be no one to provide checks and balances against that type of action.
Yep.
Because they are the two most powerful ability user groups in the country.
Right.
The guild is the one right now that is clearly taking the lead, but they do not care what these two organizations do against each other.
Right, exactly.
So
and since no one wants to bring the government into this, they don't really have anything.
Right. Well, the government's also apparently weaker than them in that regard, so that's its own thing. But the idea, though, that we send our two probably strongest people who have history together,
right,
for one, but have also the perfect way to provide their own checks and balances against each other, can go absolutely crazy on anyone else in their path. That's perfect.
Right. It's we're not going to work together, but we're going to both send our queens.
Right.
And then they'll wreck shop. And that'll be just fine.
And since the board is clear of distractions or ways that they
don't have to hold back. It's just okay.
This is pure just shonen hype in that regard, because you basically took the character whose ability we had been teased on, and also we had been teased on their previous relationship, together. We're like, oh, okay, Chuuya is in the cool area in our minds. He hasn't been touched in a negative way by the Port Mafia's lameness from season 1, and he also has an ability that we know that is strong enough to take out many members of the ADA if he's not being taken care of. And then we have, of course, Dazai, who is like one of the coolest characters in this whole show, with an ability that breaks the rules of any engagement, because if you touch, you fight's over. And Dazai is not just a one-trick pony. He's a genius. Like, he's probably one of the smartest characters in this show as well.
Yes, probably second only to Edogawa Rampo.
Yeah, exactly. So here, I love that they got to fight actual
Yep.
Lovecraft monstrosity. It's not an ability.
Right.
It's just a form. But there was the circles of like runes and things that were swirling around him, like when he did the full transformation.
I think that just might be like the seals being unlocked. You know, like the ability is looking like a human. You know?
Or no, because then it would cancel out. But what if the ability basically is something that's like innate to his form, but the human thing is just a covering. It's not an ability or anything. It's just a
the skin.
Just a skin that he's wearing.
Right, yeah. That's a great point.
So he was touching the skin and he was not like even interacting with the real.
Well, he touched the tentacles.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he touched the tentacles to try and nullify them and it didn't work and he got blasted.
Okay, so yeah, there's no abilities involved.
Right, yeah, it's just I'm Cthulhu, like good luck, son.
Because there are no exceptions to his nullification.
Right,
ability.
exactly, and that's something
I like that they're like kind of meta fourth wall telling us that.
It's the thing of as crazy as this series gets with its abilities and things like that, we are not going to we're not going to fate this where we introduce a rule and then immediately break the rule for the rule of cool, right? It's if there's ruru da, the rules are the rules. So Dazai cancels abilities. The only time that it's not going to cancel something is if it's not an ability,
right?
And we had that established with Edogawa Rampo, So now
this is not a spell. This is a spell-like ability,
right?
God damn it, DM.
Yeah, this is. In this situation, maybe then the only other question would be, where the hell did Cthulhu come from? But, we don't necessarily need to know the answer to that right now.
I mean, there's a possibility that they just went exploring and found something that the stories were, right on. And that they came up with the, idea for this monstrosity because,
Yep. If we go into like full crazy exploration stuff in season 7 of this show, and I know there's only 3 seasons, but because this show is so wacky that the longer and longer it goes, the crazier it gets, right? And that's part of the charm of it. So, yeah, go for it. Introduce all the weird shit,
and please give us more of Chuuya and Dazai. Even though this was just the one mission,
this is
make
a fan
this happen
fiction
again, right?
Because
oh my god. I hate you. I hate you more. No, I hate you more.
Yep.
But I liked your taste in shoes. What, really? You do? No, I'm just kidding. Fuck you! Like that is so cheesy, but it is so freaking hilarious.
Oh yeah.
I love this.
It's something where having a grasp on how the characters basically could be fan fiction. And then leaning into it, but then making that just be the canon stuff. That's just the dynamic.
That's the actual dynamic.
I absolutely love it. Anytime that there is a story that gets into the old married couple that isn't actually an old married couple, right? Especially if it's a series that has really serious moments or has supernatural elements or whatever, right? The wackier it gets, the more hilarious I find the sort of the mundane, just sort of bickering relationship.
Right. The world is ending over there, but right now we have to talk about the fact that you put a bomb under my car. It's that was you, that kind of shit. Exactly. I was the one that did the salt and the spaghetti thing. Wait, what? You were the salt and the spaghetti?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
They start strangling each other while there's literally Armageddon happening over there.
And it's not something of they mentioned it being a rivalry, right? I think Morio guy I think was the one who mentioned that as he was kind of narrating in the background as this stuff was happening. But I don't see this as a rivalry. I know that that's probably what it was when they were in the Port Mafia and everything. But
no, maybe that's what it is now. Because they've basically had this split. So now they're constantly throwing shit at each other, basically. Right,
yeah, exactly. Cuz when I think of rivals in anime usually, they don't often get along. And while Dazai and Chuuya don't get along personality-wise, right? All the time. But it's more of just spats and things.
Yeah.
They absolutely get along on the battlefield. And they work together fantastically. Them using the different code words and stuff for like the names of the strategies they were going to try. It's like, yes, this is great. They sound utterly ridiculous.
Let's do Get Help. I don't like Get Help.
Right. Exactly.
It'll be fun. I don't like it.
Yeah.
You'll love it. Get help! Get help!
Right.
It's the exact same thing. I love it because they're not brothers, but they act like basically brothers. They also have this very legendary thing that they did apparently in the past that involved them destroying an entire organization in one night by themselves. Which, okay.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. That's something that, well, in a lot of ways, just basically says this city, this environment and stuff like that, it's changed a lot over the years. And Dazai is pretty instrumental in making a lot of those changes happen. His handiwork is shown all around it.
And I love that they were like, you know what? We're just gonna it's just gonna be a one-off, a one-off team up, right?
Yeah.
It's just a booty call to the X. like don't worry, Dopo, I promise it's not serious.
I'll be back. It won't be serious. No, I won't even like it,
Oh my god. Oh man.
I just need them for a job. Just for a job.
We're using
you see their hand in this job, that's what you need there. Just them,
But the thing
why
is,
am I lacking in any way? Dopo, come on, baby. You're the only one for me.
Your ability's amazing, But
you provide everything I need. That's literally what my ability does. Yeah. But things get a little more hot and heavy with him.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Oh my god, the fan fiction for this series must be ridiculous. But the thing is that this was effective. It was a good trial run, essentially.
It worked.
And they could keep doing stuff like this,
In fact, yeah.
As long as they use protection, they can do this as much as they want.
Well, as long as really what they can do is, as long as this is a surprise,
sure,
this is actually going to work. Let's put this in context strategically. The reason why this worked was because it was just really Lovecraft that they were facing. But if there was a bunch of them, Dazai would need to be protected. Yep. Someone with a gun can just go and shoot him.
And if there was someone that needed to protect Dazai, then suddenly there's someone that could get hurt in the blast of everything that Chuuya was doing.
Exactly. And also then a difficulty in getting back to Chuuya and saving him from himself. Which I love also the idea of an ability that is truly not really fully utilized until they tap into a form version of it, because I feel like that's kind of what Akutagawa's ability feels like it could become.
Yeah, and
is that it's kind of dissolving him, like it's hurting him from the inside out. But that might be that there's an aspect of his ability that is untapped, and that it's incongruent with the way he's using it, so that if he was able to graft it fully into himself, then it wouldn't be a thing that his body would be, resisting or rejecting or something like that. And he could be truly like the bloodhound of the devil, basically.
One thing I didn't fully get in Rule of Cool, probably isn't super important, but the way I thought it was at the beginning was that it was I'm going to tap into an ability that I can't fully control, and so it's going to destroy my body. But then there was also this idea that Chuuya's mind was also taken over almost by the ability, it seemed. So that might have just been an aesthetic thing of him just getting so into the fight that he just starts destroying shit.
There's two logical things I think we can assume before we get into the psyche aspect of it. Is that one, his ability works on himself.
Right.
So if you can manipulate your own gravitational whatever.
Yeah, that's how he could do those super heavy punches.
That's how he could make himself be essentially strong.
Right.
And that makes sense.
Yep.
Second thing is that if he's basically able to touch the essence of matter at the basic level, then he could create balls of gravity.
Oh yeah, totally.
So matter on that level of stuff like that, we've accounted for the energy balls and now his own strength.
Yeah. Gravity is a very general kind of like saying I have gravity powers. That's so general that you can kind of do more or less whatever you want with it.
Almost, yeah. The idea though of him having some psychological effect with this might be in the way that these abilities are activated in some way, that there's probably some emotional I
Sure.
intend to do this, so I have to emotionally channel something.
In order to get into a state where his ability becomes also self-destructive to the
Yes.
point that it would
He would
tear
need to get a
himself
little
apart,
crazy.
He would need to basically,
That's
okay.
Yeah, that's the way I kind of think about it logically. Is
Right.
that he can't
There-
get into a state where he's
Right.
willing to die.
He has to
without-
get past his own mental limiters, basically.
right.
And then once all the inhibitions are gone, then it's like he's in that
He's
state.
drunk on power.
Right.
Basically.
It's the equivalent of like the boxer or whatever that's being told like, you are an animal, you are a lion, you will tear them apart and feast on their
Right.
children and and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So they go into the ring,
I think
Yeah.
that's basically it. But I could see another part of it in where he's in pain and he is laughing his way and gritting his way through the pain. So the pain is also making him a little crazy as well.
Yeah, I could definitely see that happening. Yeah.
And the idea that he can't turn it off himself might just be a balancing limiter thing.
Right. It's the if he could turn it off himself, then that
Why
would
would he
mean
need Dazai?
Well, and that would mean that there were depths potentially that he could still go to. And since this is the hey, if we're gonna really have you go ham and go into that state, might as well go whole hog,
Sure,
and then
sure.
I'll be there with you. And that's why him and Dazai are so effective, because with anyone else, it would just be he wouldn't be able to go fully 100% all the way psycho,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah, I really like, though, the idea that the abilities themselves have potentially a cross-ability mechanic that can enhance the form of the person themselves. And maybe that's something that's not limited to Chuuya, but his
Okay.
ability might just be the one that kind of fits to describe what that's like because it works so naturally on himself. I don't know.
sure, yeah, I can see that.
But really cool fight.
Yep.
Really fun display of just
Absolute
chaotic
rule of cool
friendship.
episode. Yeah. And the fact that he's like, you'll take me to the extraction point, right? Yeah, of course. But he leaves a note. I'm leaving Chuuya behind, obviously.
Folded his clothes very nicely. Set
Yep.
them alongside him. Yeah.
Yep, exactly. But no. Like that was great. I love it.
Is amazing. I want more team ups with them in the future. We also, just little note, we got a little bit of Moriyogai's past. We
That's
saw
true.
how he took over the Port Mafia from before, and
Yep.
that they had kind of a Mad King situation who was just like, kill them all, kill everyone. And he's like, yeah, no, I'm going to kill you. And then
Right.
sliced his throat with a
scalpel.
Scalpel.
He is the doctor.
But Dazai was there for that. And I think he was raising up Dazai maybe to be his eventual, right-hand man, but also
Sure.
potentially kind of Sith Lord style successor.
Right, that he would try and put off of don't
Don't do it yet, but
Right. But it's also
But if
the
it was to be
safeguard.
anyone,
Yeah, I'd want it to be you.
I think I'd want
Yeah.
it to be you.
Right,
yeah,
because
yeah.
it's the thing of if you're truly seeking the sanctity and well-being of the organization, then you would realize that there's a possibility that you could make a mistake, or at the very least that you would want someone that would be as ruthless as you were, since that's what the
Yeah.
organization needed. And if you raise someone like that, then the obvious way that they might use that ruthlessness is against you, right? Because I'm sure that Moriyogai, there was a lot of time when he was in the organization when the previous head was actually perfectly functional and sane and was a great leader, like he got to that position for a good reason, maybe, you know? But, all good things must come to an end, so then.
And since we know the way it went down, Dazai technically did have some leverage on him. That he knows what actually happened to the boss.
Right. Now, while that probably wouldn't be worth anything now because he's, successfully established his control over the Port Mafia and everything.
Yeah, of course.
In
the moment.
Right, in the moment, early after, right.
There might have been some stuff there. But I think he had also shown, the boss had shown that Dazai
He
was
was
probably
confident
like,
he
no,
had
I'd
Dazai's loyalty.
rather be Mori.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And my time is not yet,
Sure. Yeah. But y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get an early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about the show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel.
We stream every weekday. The info's in the description.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all
Next time.